What would you like to know?
How'd the car feel in qualifying?
It's all right. It's like driving down the highway here, but we picked up a lot of time from the race earlier in the year, and so that's a positive. They tried some things and it seems better, and Daniel's in a good spot. But yeah, driving-wise, you don't do much here.
Do you like this track? Do you like Talladega and the challenge that it brings?
I like the event and the racing, but not the consequences, I guess. Yeah, it's very different.
Is there a total different mindset between the Xfinity car to this car?
Yeah, like we can take a bit more risk, I guess, and try some things tomorrow, whereas today we're just points racing. You know, if we can get as many points as we can today, which means having a crack in the stages, just makes less pressure next week. Yeah, so we'll be having a bit more conservative today, I think.
I've got to ask you, you said about the playoff format, it's the most convoluted thing, but it is fun too.
Yeah.
And then SuperCars goes out, and it sounds like they're going to adopt something very similar. What was kind of your reaction to that possible announcement?
I didn't read that news.
Yeah, Speed Cafe put it out. They're adopting the NASCAR style Final Four format.
Okay, I'd have to read more because their kind of year works differently with the less rounds, but don't know how you could do it there and make it work, but maybe you could. Yeah, I haven't studied it enough to know how they're going to make it work.
They haven't put the full thing out yet, so we don't know either.
Oh, they probably don't know. Yeah.
Just about that, you mentioned the less rounds. How have you adapted to having racing week after week compared to once every 3 or 4 weeks back in Australia?
Yeah, it's awesome. I always tried to race more in Australia anyway, in other categories, but yeah, I wondered what I'd be like in the later part of the year, but I'm still loving it. So when we had the Olympic break, 1 week off was good, but then the next 2 weeks I was bored shitless. So I really wanted to. I love racing every week. So next year's it's gonna be tough and a grind, but it's cool having a routine, knowing where you're going. Yeah, it's good.
What do you think of the changes to the Charlotte Roval for next week?
Yeah, I drove it on the sim the other day. It's I drove that track actually testing before Chicago last year. It's pretty cool. Like there's a blind crest and you get a bit of air in the sim anyway. It's going to be a real challenge, and that hairpin is a really good passing and carnage spot. So I think it'll be good.
I mean, does it feel anything like a street course in that, they basically took an oval and they kind of turned it into this, creature style, not a road course, but it is a road course?
Yeah.
What do you think about the track?
I don't know. It's not like anything I've really ever driven before. It's kind of a hybrid. And the way the styles of the corners are, it's not really a street circuit because the walls aren't that close in a few places, but it's an odd track. And then the cars are compromised to run on the oval as well, so, but there's curbs too, and I don't know how well these cars take the curbs. We don't really run on tracks with big curbs like that, so it's going to be interesting to feel that and learn how much I can take and use and how to pass. Yeah, there's a lot to learn next week.
Given the way
passing or more carnage?
It's always carnage in NASCAR, isn't it? It's it's just there's plenty of opportunities to pass at that track, which is good, but hopefully it's a good race.
Given the way that Kansas went, is there a part of you now that starts to entertain, even though the odds are against you, why not us going to Phoenix?
Oh yeah, but the next round's going to be difficult. There's 2 tracks which are going to be really tough for me. Vegas, I didn't get a good run at with an engine failure, and then Homestead, which I haven't been to. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but for sure I need to be more aggressive at the start of races. Always in stage 3, I'm top 10, top 15 guy, but I need to be there at the start because the stage points are so valuable. So yeah, I need to be more aggressive, I think, and if I get through to the next round, I'll be more prepared to have a crack.
Do you feel like it's possible though now, given the way that you're starting to pick up?
Yeah, anything is possible. These races, you saw what happened to Justin the last 3 weeks, unfortunately, and now he's up against it. Like, things can change so quick here. Yeah.
Dale Jarrett was right to anoint you already the favorite at the Roval, even though you've never run a lap there on the actual track. And you've got to get past your teammate, A.J. Allmendinger, who won 3 straight in Xfinity before winning the Cup race last year. So
I never have to think about that shit. That's all about you guys. But
I mean, you feel like, because of your prowess on street courses, road courses, whatever, you are a favorite.
Okay, yeah, I know I'm going to be good there, but so's AJ and so's a lot of people. Everyone's done many laps there, so yeah, who knows? But we need to make our cars better. At Watkins Glen, we were pretty far off, but maybe a Chicago type setup will work. Who knows? But yeah, for sure we'll be fast if we get the car right. But yeah, the favorite stuff's up to you guys.
The concept of no practice at a super speedway, how's that?
Yeah, you don't need practice. Well, you'd love to race, but no one really, love to practice around cars, but you have enough time in the race to figure it out here. I just love practice on a 1.5 mile type track, but yeah, it's like I drove here yesterday from Charlotte 6 hours, and driving on the track for qualifying feels no different. You're driving around one-handed, so it's silly, but it's what you do here.
The other thing also is, if first time here for me, if I was to equate anything back to our Bathurst, which of course is next weekend, it's Talladega. It seems to be the similar sort of thing with the camping, wood being sold on the streets as you drive down, all that sort of stuff. It's just a great place.
Yeah, and this happens in a few races like this over the year. It's an epic event. It's my dad's first time here too, so we'll probably go down the boulevard tonight and have a look. I didn't go down early in the year, so it'd be cool to see what that's like, and I'll behave.
And out of all the supercar races that you might miss, would Bathurst next week be the one?
Yeah, Bathurst is probably the one I'm going to be missing out. I missed out on New Zealand. I always loved racing at home, but yeah, Bathurst, I probably won't watch it live because it's so late, but yeah, I'll try and watch it in the morning without knowing the result. But yeah, that's a race obviously I'll miss. Like the fans there, the event, that track, it's the best race we did.
What pointers, if any, has AJ given you for the Roval?
Nothing yet. Yeah, but you know, we'll probably share a sim session next Tuesday's our sim day, and yeah, I'll be listening to every word that he says because he's dominant there.
Is it weird coming here knowing that for these races, Daytona, Talladega, you're probably going to be in a crash? Is there anything like that you've ever done in your career?
No, well, that's what Kevin Harvick told me. You know, he said when you're here, you got to be up by the wall so you can rest against it and not have a big hit, or you got to be at the bottom so you have options where to go. It's just a weird mindset to go racing prepared to be in a crash. You just, you know, that's what you got to do. And you know, Marcus told me he'd just make sure his family was at all these races, and you know, so he could give him a kiss before he gets in the car. And it's a crazy mindset to be into. But you see some of the crashes last night. It's crazy how it can go wrong here, and that's part of the sport.
How much satisfaction did you get out of the top 10 finish last week at Kansas on an intermediate track? Yeah,
it was awesome. We really struggled all day, and that's been my weakness probably, the 1.5 miles. And yeah, to finish that race, learn to run the wall really well and genuinely be 8th with top 5 speed at the end. It was really cool. And as I've got to almost every race at the end, I wish I could start again knowing what I know now about that track. So yeah, it felt really good to finish on a high like that.
Do you feel like you have a built-in posse with Scotty being here? You guys kind of have the down-under posse where you make fun of the Yanks and our American football and all kinds of shit?
No, I'm trying. He was around at my place last Sunday, and he was trying to teach me American football, but I'm struggling. But yeah, I think, you know, trying to get him to do a race, and he's got a baby due, otherwise he'd probably be doing the Roval, I think. So I would really want him in a NASCAR because I think he'd do really well.
All blacks all the time?
Oh yeah.